Have you ever been into that boring lecture where the professor keeps on blabbering about some random topic and you start to find yourself surrounded by that different world of yours where everything is set? You have married to the love of your life, you got a big house, you're the richest person in the world, and you have hundreds of supercars and all your peers admire you for your achievements and success. Yes, that's pretty much what daydreaming sounds like. We all do daydreams. We all try to escape and live in a world far from our sense of present reality. A fantasy land where all our present ambitions, desires are all accomplished. Research shows that 47% of our normal days get spent up in daydreaming. Daydreaming has become so common and such a regular habit in our life that we even forget the difference between what's real and what's not real. According to Manningham and Schuyler, the two Canadian psychiatrists known for their work in daydreaming have classified the daydreaming into 5 potential functions: future thinking, creative thinking, dishabituation, relief from the boredom, and attention cycling. Well, daydreaming does play a very important role when it comes to setting up your goals and ambitions. Like, for example, when I dream of becoming, let's say, an actor, apart from entering the world of acting and drama, it's also about the amount of fans, amount of love, the amount of attention I'm gonna get when I enter this whole world of glamour. The whole scenario of perks of being an actor is what pushes me today and makes me aspire to take it as a career in my future. Have you ever found yourself imagining how well and perfectly you can do a specific task? For instance, let's say painting. Like, while doing painting, you might daydream of what kind of different shades of color you can use, the different curves you can put to make your artwork more appealing and aesthetic. Well, it's quite true that when we let our brain free, we achieve the greatest piece of work we have ever done. Daydreaming has that aesthetic appeal, and somewhat it helps artists to come up with their greatest creative geniuses. For instance, Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds of 20th century, who is notably famous for his unique way of approaching a problem, which he used to term as thought experiments. And one of the most famous thought experiments is the elevator thought experiment, which according to him is the most wonderful thought he has ever had. He imagined that it's impossible for an observer in a windowless elevator to differentiate whether he is in a gravitational field or just moving in an upward acceleration which equals to gravitational acceleration. This helped him encapsulate gravity in his theory of relativity, leading him to the discovery of general theory of relativity, which revolutionized physics forever. Daydreaming helps us to get refreshed from the continuous intense learning process. Like, when you get really tired of doing some assignment or any activity, you might want to listen to some of your favorite songs and want to think about some nostalgic moments you had in your past, or want to dream about some future aspects you can get. That helps you to get back to your work in a more refreshed and energetic way. Well, in this video, I'm gonna give 2 explanations for why we daydream. One theory talks about the repressed emotions and another one talks about drive. According to Sigmund Freud, one of the biggest names in psychology, daydreaming is a revised form of our repressed desires. In contrast to nighttime dreams, daydreaming is a more lucid and clear form of our subconscious showing our repressed instincts and desires to us. Like, why do we imagine ourselves to be a superhero saving the world in the first place? Why do we imagine ourselves being the richest person in the world? Why do we dream of acquiring the topmost position in the society? Well, we might be having some emotions that are repressed and they might be coming in form of daydreaming to us, like in a more clear and crisp way. It might be possible that you want to be a superhero and save the world, because in real life somewhat you are not getting the amount of attention you expect from your peers, or people close to you don't think of you as somewhat considerable. And the suppressed emotion of getting left out by people and society might be the cause of your current daydream of becoming a superhero or acquiring the dominant position in the society. Now, daydreaming is somewhat related to the basic drives that we as humans have. What do I mean by drive here? I'm gonna go with the reductionist point of view where I break the whole human drive into 2 main categories. One is internal drive and another one is external drive. Your hunger, leisure, sexual desires comes under the internal drives. Like, have you ever dreamt of those chicken wings when you are feeling really hungry? Or have you daydreamed of that cozy, soft cushion bed once you had a very tiring day at your workplace? The hunger which made your brain daydream those chicken wings to satisfy your hunger, or the biological drive that made your body alarmed in the form of daydream to get some rest as you were exhausted. Another drive is somewhat driven by the perks of us being the evolved creature on the planet. As the evolution happened, which directed towards forming new cultures, ideas, arts, language, the association of an individual being the part of a larger community became somewhat our priority. As a human, we have this desire to be a part of a society, becoming superior to it, or being a dominant personality. This drive is somewhat rooted to our evolution. Evolution has given us the ability to make decisions and judgments, and more importantly, has given us the gift of language, which has somewhat enhanced our association to a group, society, and culture. Recently, I have suffered from the lowest phase of my life, where I spent most of my time just depressed, having no energy to work, no energy to contemplate on any productive idea, and just preferred lying on my bed whole day. When I questioned myself and researched a bit, I realized that I was somewhat the victim of maladaptive daydreaming. Maladaptive daydreaming is losing yourself in a wide array of daydreaming. Now, daydreaming is very useful for divergent thinking, to get a new approach, to stay motivated, but overdoing something is never a clever option to opt for. If you start spending most of your time in daydreams and get all the enjoyment and fulfillment there, then why do you even want to spend your time in reality? I remember crying for like an hour when I was 6-year-old, knowing that superheroes cartoons are not real and it's just a work of fiction. And later in life, I've suffered 2 years of depression and anxiety, knowing that I've always been into a fantasy land where things always had a happy ending. And somewhat I never preferred to step a foot on the dark, cold, foggy reality.